Are you a man or a mouse? Squeak, squeak. So goes the occasional taunt when someone is accused of being a chicken. Some may have thought that applies to me, since I haven't addressed some of the Old Testament passages dealing with the unpleasant topic of executions. And while I have referenced some of them a couple of times, I haven't addressed a number of the passages we often struggle to explain, such as when God ordered Israel to execute whole populations, Deuteronomy 20, verse 16, or when he ordered them to execute rebellious sons, 21:21, or adulterers, 22:22, and rapists, 22:25. Though I hope no one is really upset about executing rapists. We should all agree that's fitting. But admittedly, we can stumble over those passages because our enlightened sensibilities consider it barbaric here in the 21st century. By the way, previous generations struggled too. But atheists and God-deniers have seized on these passages to accuse God of being cruel. We'll discuss their hypocrisy in a moment, but first let's address the texts. God's orders were based on two very important reasons: His holiness and man's sinfulness. God created man to honor him by being holy like him, Leviticus 11:45 and 1 Peter 1:15 and 16. But we sinned, starting in the Garden of Eden, Genesis 3, and following with murder, Genesis 4. Man's sin is a destructive force requiring appropriate punishment. The executions were ordered to put away the abominations and sin in order to keep God's people holy, Deuteronomy 20, verse 18 and 21:21. Without holiness, life descends into a miserable hell on earth. God was doing this for our own good, but even in that, we defy him. Well, we're blessed today in that God had a different plan in the works that did not include physical executions. Instead, God's plan for us involved spiritual executions. In Christ, we are to put to death our old man of sin, Romans 6, verses 1 to 11. We don't die physically. Jesus did that for us. But we must kill the old person who lived for this world, bury him in the watery grave of baptism, and arise as a new person with a new heart, a renewed spirit living in unity with God. Sadly, we live in a time when people continue to reject God and have polluted this world with hypocrisy and sin. Now, I mentioned the world's hypocrisy about death and their condemnation of God. While calling God bloodthirsty, they rejoice over choice and celebrate the execution of innocent, unborn children. Tens of millions of babies have died to serve the God of choice. And that's why I refuse to be lectured on morality by anyone who does not oppose abortion. The only death that really bothers them is the death to sin and self. Well, we're back to where we started. Are you a man or a mouse? Mice flee from God. Men bow before him. So man up and serve God. And come back tomorrow for another Morning Minutes in the Bible. Until then, this is James McClenny hoping you have a great day.